And welcome to another signing day video. This one is for Gabe Staszak, offensive lineman out of Medford, Oregon. He's listed at 6'6", 265 pounds. And Patrick, what are your initial thoughts on Gabe?
Yeah. He's one of those tall, long linemen that, one of those guys that's athletic, that's coming in a little light. He coming in at 260, 260 doesn't seem light, but for a lineman, it's a little light. The first thing that really impressed me with his tape is how he could drive dudes back out of a 2-point stance. Typically this is something that always was a pet peeve of mine with Eastern is like they always have their tackles in a 2-point stance, and it's really hard to drive dudes when you come out of a 2-point stance.
Speaking of 2-point stances, this is a example of what Patrick's talking about here on this play. He's driving, albeit a smaller defensive end, back like 20, 30 yards, and he's just drove him, like finished through the plays like offensive line coaches love to say.
Yep. Yeah, being able to drive dudes back out of that 2-point stance makes me excited because, like, what's he going to be able to do out of a 3-point stance? He's going to be able to drive dudes back even better. And he's one of those guys that just kind of plays O-line a little nasty. Like, he always blocks till the echo of the whistle. I mean, every play, he is 100% effort until the whistle, which is something that just fires me up as a guy that loves. I'm also kind of an O-line guy. When I played football, I played offensive line, even though I'm small. But like driving dudes back just gets me real excited. He moves really well in the open field. Talking about Gabe, and it's like the theme of the class has been those big athletes that can move real well. He's another one of those guys. Him and Nathan Kanapik play very similar styles. I think Nathan is a little bit bigger, or at least just looks a little bigger, but they're pretty similar. He has very quick feet and great footwork from that tackle spot. Gabe does. He doesn't like jump off the page as the most athletic tackle you've ever seen. But you can tell he's a good athlete just because he gets out there, he gets on those smaller, quicker defenders. It's a tough thing to do when you're 6'6" and you got a bunch of little 5'10" fast dudes running around. Like it's tough to get your hands on him. But he's able to do that, and he comes in with such a big, long frame that he's going to be able to put on a lot of weight and still move the way he does. I think he's another one of those guys. I think we probably won't see him super early, but I think he's going to be a guy that develops, adds some weight, and he could be an answer at. I'm pretty confident he'll play tackle in college, being 6'6" and the way his kind of style is. But I think like I said, I think he's going to be a guy that redshirts, develops for a couple years, and then comes on as a upperclassman and just dominates.
Oh yeah, 100% agree. He's kind of watching his tape. He 100% can probably, I'd say probably my red shirt if other freshmen in this class play right away. I know we've kind of penciled in at least 2 starting tackles in this class so far, so that kind of does create a bit of a logjam. Maybe we literally do we just go with a taller offensive line, just go like 6'6" across the board, which would be kind of cool to see it off as offensive line going forward. But I'm excited to finally have like good like size and dudes like that are athletes playing offensive line.
Yep, and this is something that I love about this class is it's not a bunch of big teddy bears. Like it's not a bunch of 6'6", 330 guys that can't move. Like I think sometimes that's something people get real excited about is the number next to the size. And this class, like they have the height next to the size. They don't quite have the weight next to the size, but they have the athletic ability to develop into one of the best offensive lines in the country. Like seriously, guys, like this is looking like it could develop into one of the best I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, 100% on that. Patrick, do you have any final final thoughts you want to give on Gabe before we move on to our next signee?
I just want to say, like, Gabe's a guy that at a lot of other FCS schools, I think he's a guy that would start very soon into his career. And I think the only reason he might not is because there's so many other guys in that room that he's gonna have to battle for playing time. And that's something that we've been lacking here at Idaho the last couple of years, is that depth, and that depth is getting built now.
Oh yeah, I know it's kind of words are hard. Wanted to kind of model it after South Dakota State, and it's kind of looks like they're kind of doing the same thing that Montana State does as well, where they just get big sized dudes to play offensive line, and if you can plug them anywhere, they'll play. It's working out. It's worked out for them, and looks like it's trending in the right direction, on the right track for Idaho.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, we are going to be moving on to our next signee. And as always, go Vandals.